You know, one of my subscribers wanted me to give my opinion on this story, and I first heard about this story through another subscriber of mine, Lovely T, real good sister on here. If you guys haven't checked her out, go check her out. But when I heard about this story, I was thinking to myself, this is a dirty motherfucker. This is the lowest of the low that you can get. Now, I'm going to read you guys part of this article that was posted on this website. It says, 3 Chicago men are being held without bond in the slaying of hairstylists, and police are alleging that her own son arranged the killing. Yolanda Holmes was shot and stabbed to death in September 2012 in her apartment on the city's west side. The Chicago Sun-Times reported Tuesday that a judge has denied bail for the woman's 24-year-old son, Kwame Wilson, along with 22-year-old, I don't know how to pronounce his character's name, I believe it's Igu Spencer, and 23-year-old Lorena Johnson. Prosecutors say Wilson arranged to have his mother killed for insurance money and $90,000 in her bank accounts. He's charged with murder and home invasion. Spencer is charged with first-degree murder and allegedly carrying out the slaying, and Johnson is charged with murder and home invasion. Excuse me. Police say she drove Spencer to and from the scene. Now, you know, this goes back to what I said in my previous video, that we have people in, you know, our community, me in the black community, that, you know, will basically do anything for self-humanity. They'll go out and kill their mother just so they can have material objects that make them feel like they're somebody. And, you know, I don't know how low you can get, you know, setting up a murder to kill your own mother. And, you know, I did a little research on, you know, this woman, and, you know, I went deeper into the story because the article that I read, they didn't really give too much information. But, you know, this is a good woman. She did a lot of things for her community, helped out a lot of people. She would have certain, you know, food drives and, you know, certain positive activities at her hair salon, on her blog. Real good woman, did things for the community. Wasn't someone who, you know, just came to collect money from the community but then didn't give back, like a lot of you know, people who come into our communities, open up businesses, and basically just come to rape the community. You know, she actually gave back. Black owned business. And you got this little bastard right here that don't want to go out and go get a job. Okay, don't want to make his own way, don't want to be a grown-ass man. Instead, he wants to set up a murder to take out his own mother for an insurance policy. And, you know, it's sad, you know, and I checked out the guy's Facebook. You know, he had a whole bunch of bullshit on there, posting money, throwing up money. I checked out his little, his YouTube channel. You know, he was on there stunting, throwing money in the air, you know, eating money, all kind of bullshit. You know, and this is where our generation is going. You know, these cats out here idolize money so much that they would go out and kill their mother. And there was a story I read, I believe last year, of another character that I think he killed his dad, you know, all for money. And, you know, these guys going around stunting, you know, buying these little expensive cars and shit. You know, going out spending hundreds of dollars on a Louis Vuitton belt, basically stunt off for these little hoes out here, these little girls, you know, so they can feel like they're important, or, you know, their homies can idolize them. And what you guys don't understand is that nobody gives a damn about you. The only reason a lot of these people are around you, or you got these females on your tip, is because you have money, and because they feel like they can gain basically opportunities. They're around you so they can get a piece of your money. Point blank, period. And you little cats falling right into the trap, you know, and it's sad that we have people out here that don't want to go out and make their own living, but they rather go to the extreme of killing a family member, killing your own mother to collect money. And $90,000, you know, maybe this guy don't, you know, obviously he didn't do too well in math, because $90,000 is not going to last you for the rest of your life. You know, it's not. It'll last you for, you know, a good little period if you preserve it right, but it's not going to last you for the rest of your life. $1 million today is not the same that it was back in the 90s. So you know, I mean, these cats out here, man. You know, this is where our generation is going, and you know that's why I made that video the other day. Control your pockets, man. Really understand the value of money and understand that money does not make you somebody. It does not make you a man. It basically just brings wolves in sheep clothing and opportunists around you. You want money, you take your ass out there, you go find a goddamn job. You know, I know it's rough out here. I was, you know, a young cat before, you know, trying to get on this grind and trying to, you know, make a way for us. So I know the value of a dollar. I've done fast food. I've done bullshit warehouse jobs and everything. I know the value of a dollar. But you don't go out here and you don't steal. You don't kill for money. But, you know, this is what happens when, you know, there's a dysfunction in our community. A lot of fathers are not in the homes, you know, and are not there to guide these young cats. And what they do is, that, you know, they turn on the TV, they see this rap shit on here, you know, and I'm not blaming hip-hop because I know that's entertainment. A lot of our parents have to, you know, take control of their children, but they see these cats on here and they think that's what life's about, you know, driving around in fancy cars, you know, smashing a whole bunch of chicks, flossing money all around, throwing money in the air and shit. Once you save that money, open up a business. And then he's a stupid fuck because you go out and you kill your mother, okay? You get the money from an insurance policy or whatever type of you know, thing she had going on with her money. Cause a lot of times, you know, if you know parents with certain type of careers, you know, they'll have it set up to where if anything happens to them, you know, the closest beneficial will be their children, so the money will go to them. But this asshole goes out here and starts flaunting money. If I killed my own mother, I'm going to stay on the low. I'm not going to go out here and start buying expensive cars and stuff, floss some money around, and everybody around me know, where did he get this money from? You was broke 2 months ago, and now all of a sudden you got all this money, flossing it around. So, you know, it just goes to show you that not only is he, you know, a dumbass, not only does he display someone that doesn't have common sense, but he's also a ruthless bastard. But that's basically my opinion on, you know, I hope they put this dude under the jail. You know, when I saw him, he like a little pussy anyway. You know, I try not to judge people strictly off their looks, but I was like, okay, yeah, he's your typical bitch-made dude out here, you know, all about money, want to floss, and like these little rappers out here on TV and shit. You're not Chief Keef, okay? You're none of those guys. Go out here and get your education. Earn your own money. But that's all I gotta say, man. You know, it's sad. You know, rest in peace to that sister. You know, it's sad to see good people be taken out like this, you know, by the hands of a family member or even a close friend. But I will leave actually a better link in the description about if you guys want to read more up on it. But you know, it's sad, man. You know, it's sad what people do for the dollar bill. But what goes around comes around, and you know, this little Kwame cat, he's gonna get his. You know, he really is. But you know, I hope they lock his ass under the jail, and I hope he becomes somebody butt buddy. You know, because this guy is the definition of a bitch. But that's all I gotta say. I'm out. Rest in peace to that sister.